Welcome to our weekly or bi-weekly, I forgot that it's bi-weekly now, team call. Tonight we have one of our emerging leaders as our guest speaker, Katie Rose, and I'm really excited to see what she does with her business this year because she has been leveling up and stepping up, and she has been spending a lot of time learning about niching down and some social media stuff. So she's going to share that with us tonight. But I also want to encourage everybody not only to watch this call, watch the superstar call after this call. And then this Thursday, everybody needs to be on the Set Your Soul on Fire call because we have Carl Deichler on this week's team call. And it's really important to Amy that we have a big call and get a bunch of people on there. So make sure you are on there on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to make you a host, Katie, and let you kick it off.
Okay. Oh, man. Okay, hold on.
Okay, no worries.
Sorry. I'm trying to get my, I'm on my Chrome browser, and so it's saying I need to install something, but basically, okay, I can just tell you guys about it. I have a little presentation that I'll read through, and then I can post it in our team page for you guys to check out, just since we're tight on time. So really what I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I think is really important when it comes to social selling, which is really what we're doing. And I've tried really to kind of get my mindset around that, that what we're doing is social selling. I think that there's a lot of negative connotations out there when it comes to multi-level marketing. And I think, a lot of people are really, go really hard at this sometimes, and it gives a bad name or a bad taste in your mouth to people who are really using this to create an income and have a business, and really connect with people while they're providing a great service. And I personally think that Beachbody is an amazing service that we are helping people get connected with. So that's kind of what I've been calling it to myself, and how I've been seeing what we do is more like social selling. Like when we talk about our favorite phone brands, like the Apple versus Android debate, our favorite brand of jeans, where we like to go get dinner, all things like that. Those are all social selling practices. And so we're just using our social media as a way to connect people in a social selling way. So it's really important to niche down because that's when we're going to serve our market the best. One of my favorite accounts that I follow is Jackie Richards. She is a big person who gives tips on social selling. One of her quotes is, "You aren't low on sales, you're low in connections." So when you niche down and you end up getting more tight and defined on who your market is, you're going to create those connections more. And that's when you're going to see the return when it comes to your business and building your team and getting clients. So who are you talking to? When you're thinking about your posts, when you're planning out your month of, content or things like that, you want to think about who you're talking to. So there's two different kind of pockets that we can look at. One is our target audience, which is more broad. That's a group of people that you're serving. So who benefits from your product? Who do you relate to? How old are they? What's their lifestyle look like? And what are maybe some roadblocks that they've come into in their life and that you can help them overcome? So examples of that would be college students, busy moms, mid-sized millennials. On the other hand of that, more underneath that umbrella of your target audience is your niche. So that's the unique value that you give that serves a smaller area in your audience. So when you're thinking about your niche, think about the struggles that you've overcome. Talk to a specific person with a specific pain point that you have experience with, and how did you overcome it? How can you assist them? Or maybe what are you currently doing to get yourself through that maybe hard time in your life? So examples of that would be, burnt out from restricted diets, a person who doesn't prioritize their needs, feeling alone as a mom, unsustainable lifestyle habits, looking to get sober, hates veggies. So you can see it's a little bit more specific than what the target audience is, like college students, busy moms, mid-sized millennials. Okay. So I've really worked on niching down and kind of figuring out like who I'm going to talk to. My whole life, I was somebody who I'm very much like everyone's included. And I think that that's really important. And really in our business, everyone is included. Anyone can sign up with us. You know, if somebody inquires with me, I'm definitely going to talk to them. But that doesn't really work when you're trying to speak to your target audience and your niche people. So while everyone is invited and everyone is included, I think niching down and talking to your specific person is really important. So my ideal client, kind of what I've come up with, and this too is kind of always changing, growing, evolving, because I'm always changing, growing, and evolving, right? So my ideal client just turned or is almost 30, doesn't have kids, and is probably a pet parent. They enjoy downtime at home. They're busy advancing their career. They're figuring out adulting and have an active social life. She knows that she needs to take care of her health and wellness more, but doesn't have the confidence to get started because she has self-doubts and she's worried about what other people will think. She's lived in a cycle of quick fixes, falling off the wagon, and giving up. She's ready to make a permanent change in her daily habits and is looking for a community to lean on. So if you guys heard that, it's pretty specific. And I try with a majority of the content that I put out there, I try to think of that person. And that's going to be my client and my target person who is coming upon my reels, my posts, and things like that. So what I've done a lot of to get to this is auditing myself. So I've looked at my bio, you know, does my bio say who I'm serving? If you guys caught that training by Brock Johnson, it was a really great one because he talks about, you know, getting your bio succinct about who you're serving. Is what you're posting serving that person? So the person that I'm saying in my bio that I'm serving, is what I'm posting relating to that, right? It all needs to be cohesive. Like we always said, Instagram is our storefront. So it needs to make sense. Are you enhancing the life of that target person that you want following you? Are you giving them reasons to follow you? You know, entertainment is part of that, but also providing tips, tricks, advice, things like that as well. Are you showing your personality in your posts, your reels, your stories? Because honestly, that's the only way people are going to start relating with you is if you show your personality. Are you creating shareable content? So with reels, those are kind of the hot thing right now, but even with, you know, text in your posts or things like that, is it shareable? I always think it's really important too, and something I need to get better at is, do your highlights have a purpose, or are you just putting things there? I think a lot of people maybe don't check out people's highlights, and I know I need to go edit mine, like if they just say workout. And I know if you go there, you will see a year's plus worth of just workout moves, which I think give people an idea, but it's not very purposeful. And so I know personally I need to get better at that. And then I think adding a start here highlight is also really important because it gives those new followers coming to your page something, you know, to kind of get to know you a little bit more and have a reason to maybe start following you and pay attention to your content. It's really important to add value beyond what your product is. And so while we are Beachbody coaches, while we love Shakeology, while we utilize Ultimate Portion Fix, things like that, we are the coach and we are what we are selling to the people and what we're promoting, and our products just come along with that. So I think that's really important to pay attention to, is how much are you sharing yourself and you and what you have to offer versus your products. And honestly, your products shouldn't outweigh how much you are sharing yourself. So like I said, I'll post this in the team pages too, so people can check them out, but just prompts to add value and to get you started when it comes to making reels, when it comes to just, you know, how you set up your posts and things like that. And I totally understand Reels can be uncomfortable, um, and all that, but it's a great way to put yourself out there. So like 5 ways to blank, how to get blank, mistakes you're making / I made with blank and how to combat that, why I stopped blank, easy hacks to blank, 3 lessons I learned from my favorite secret to that one time so those are all just different prompts that you can use to think about your niche client and how can you serve them and how would they benefit from a 5 ways to drink more water. And I think it's also important too, because that's one that I think a lot of coaches could do easily is 5 ways to drink more water, but personalize it. You know, yeah, add fruit, have a cool water bottle, things like that. But how you put that reel together, how you put that post together, how you word it, personalize it. So you're not just another coach telling people to drink 100 ounces of water, even though we know we should. How do you make it fun for you, and how does that speak to your niche client? And then making shareable content. So reels are very shareable right now, like we've probably seen. And honestly, if you want to grow your following, which your following doesn't mean that you're going to have a great business or anything like that, but if you're growing your following, you're growing the amount of people who are seeing your page, right? So shareable content is really important. Twitter posts or fake Twitter posts, because you can make them in Canva too. You don't have to have a Twitter account, but I just think that's easier. For some reason, those are loved on Instagram, even more times than like foo-foo pretty text, or text that even matches your aesthetic. Straight white box setup Twitter posts have been skyrockets for me. So I try to make those, and I don't have any followers on Twitter or anything like that. I don't promote my Twitter. I just use it when I have a funny thought to go and put it there, and then I can screenshot it when I want to put a post up. So I think those are really just really easy ways to get your personality out there, get tips out there, anything like that. Make them funny. Those dance videos are really hard to do, but if you can laugh at yourself, if you have a smile on while you're doing it, if you're giving it your all, show your personality, I think that connects with people. Make sure it's relatable to your target audience, and any of those mic drop moments. I think if those are, those moments where you can make your target audience go, amen, Katie, amen. Those are the moments that are going to be shareable, and that's the content that I think is going to really help get you out there and get you connected with your target audience once it's shared. And as we know, with fitness and nutrition and everything like that, consistency is key. Instagram more than ever loves to see you posting constantly and using all of their features. So post, reels, stories, posting with carousels, so the swipe feature. I need to get more into IGTV, and you can do series through IGTV, and now even going live. So now you can go live with other IG creators and things like that and have like a room, which is pretty cool. And you can save those lives on your as your IGTVs. So those are just things that I need to do as well and plan to add more value. But be authentic and turn it up loud. Show who you are and show your personality, but like turn it up. And then too, if you're having a hard day, because I know me personally, I suffer with seasonal depression. Thank God the sun is out more now. I'm sharing that, how I've like turned that corner, and oh my gosh, I can't believe how my energy has skyrocketed. But even those moments where it's like really hard and you don't have motivation, and what are you doing to get yourself there? Be interactive, use story polls, things like that. Build trust with your audience, and that's what consistency does, right? It builds that trust. Connect authentically, and give value, give value, give value. I think it's just really important. Those prompts that I shared with you guys are all ways to give value. You're teaching them something. And that's how people I really think that's where people will feel connected with you and feel like they want to keep up with you and follow you and all of that stuff. So what you see, you know, with people who are confident in their reels and things, you see kind of on the daily is you see them attracting customers effortlessly. They look natural on camera. They might have a big following. They're a top leader. They have a great brand. They're all cohesive. But I think what people don't see is they're willing to look silly in the reels. You know, they maybe have low sales months. They're willing to pivot their content. You know, they are told they're too much. They do self-development. They YouTube or Google things to figure it out for themselves. And you know, I think we can get into a big comparison game on the internet. And so just remember, when things seem really curated or they seem really perfect, they're really not. And it just takes that effort, you know, and trial and error. And so really to once you hit your niche, you know, kind of answer those questions about who are you serving, who are you talking to, who can you help get through, you know, pivotal points in their lives that you've gone through. Once you've done that, give it 30 days. 30 days of really providing content that has to do with your niche. Educate, add value, put it out there, and see how it goes. And if it doesn't seem to be, you know, getting you a great return or, you know, things like that, then pivot. Don't completely change all of your ish, but pivot to, you know, something a little different and see how that works. But you got to give it consistency. You got to give it some time. And you have to just, you know, be willing to learn. So that's it in a nutshell. I wish I could have shown you guys the slides, but I'll share them anyway.
Thanks, Katie. That was an echo. You guys hear that? That's annoying. Oh, it went away. Oh, okay. There's something with like the double unmuted. Yeah, I want to look at the slides you made. So if Kate shares them, then I'll share them in Team TCB. But I love what you said about pivot, like do it for 30 days, you know, like be consistent. And then if something's not working, pivot. I so often see people just stop, like, well, that didn't work. Okay, all you're doing is reinforcing everyone's like their doubt, you know, and like what we're doing and what you're doing. And then that's one of my biggest pet peeves, and people are like, it's not working, so they just stop everything. And then one thing I wanted to share, just because it reminded me, my story views are down like a third of the people that are normally watching my stories. Like it's way down. And Kate tagged me in this thing that Angie Lee shared. She has a podcast, the Angie Lee Show, and she's like a social media person, but she was kind of talking about some of the things that you were talking about, like using the features, like just things to kind of like prompt Instagram to want to, you know, Instagram's really smart. So if you're using the features, especially like the new live meeting rooms, like I want to get on that with Kate. We're talking about doing like a little coaching kind of like sneak peek thing, but yeah, anything we can do to use the features to hopefully like promote us more like in the algorithms, but also something that yes, you want to say what's working for you on Instagram? One last thing is Angie talks about like talking more, like Instagram, like the whatever, like facial recognition software out there, like they're actually like noticing if people are using it for social media instead of just sharing memes and sharing things that we do that we should do because they're funny and like reshareable. We should also be talking into our camera and not worrying so much about the filters and all like the fancy stuff and just being real. Supposedly, I don't know, I haven't seen a jump yet. I talk on my stories every day, but supposedly Instagram's looking for that. So I have noticed some of my own like personally sponsored coaches, a couple days will go by where it's only pictures or only memes, and we have to remember to like show our face and talk too. Yeah, I just wanted to add that, but that was really great, Katie. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just want to add from that Angie IGTV that she did, and she said like try it out for 2 weeks, because my story views have been down like a third too, and I know Amanda Ruskowski was saying the same thing because we were both talking about this the other day. So yeah, trying to talk on there more and make it not look like a Pinterest board. And then giving tips. I need to be better about like giving tips, and I think that's more like I don't know that's so much the algorithm of just people want to come back and see if you give them something to come back for. So that's what I'm trying to remember with that too. But yeah, Katie, that was really awesome. I know it's really easy to be like, I just want to help everyone. I don't want to like cut people out, but it is important to remember if you try to help everybody, you'll help no one, because you're casting too broad of a net and you're not like being specific enough. So I just updated my Instagram bio because that Brock Johnson training was like 3 weeks ago and I still hadn't done it. If you missed that, I don't know if that, I don't think I've ever seen a recording for that, but what he basically said was that you need to say, I help blank. Like the first sentence of your Instagram bio needs to say, I help blank, and fill in the specific person you are trying to help. So for me, I put busy millennial moms. Like I got very specific with that. Take back, control, or what did I just say? I did this like 5 minutes ago. I don't even remember. I help busy millennial moms empower themselves through fitness, nutrition, and community. So I think that everybody should change their bio or something to that. That's what he was saying. So that when somebody goes to your bio, they know instantly like how you can help them, and just getting very specific with who that is. I know Amy's changed hers a few times. Carly Linder also changed hers to like, I help, burnt out 20, like just like being specific with that. And you can look at other coaches who have kind of done it. I think Courtney Burton, Carly Lindor, Amy, Amanda, and some other leaders have done it too. And just to get the right adjective, like just to figure out what kind of adjectives you want to put on there and what kind of thing you want to say, but just again, getting very specific with that. Does anybody have any questions for Katie?
I do. Katie, I've been noticing all your reels. I really like them. They're really funny and creative. Have you been getting like new followers? Have you noticed like anything yet? Because I know it's recent.
So I just hit 2,000 followers today, which I'm very excited about. I've been like, I've been flirting with 2,000 for a while, but I do think I've seen some really good growth. It's slow. And when I'm not consistent, I can tell that I'm not getting that growth. So I think too, I can't pay too much attention to it, because like I was like at like 1996, and then I was at 1994, and then I was at 1997, and like I was totally paying too much attention to it. But I think it's definitely, I should go back and see, because I know I take screenshots of my like count every once in a while, and I should go back and see how much it's grown. But I've definitely seen an increase of not just followers, but people that I'm actually connecting with, and then will like either send me a message, or I'm finding their profiles and something in their bio like resonates with me, or they post about cats because I'm a cat fanatic, and it just like leads to an opener where I can just start a conversation of like, oh my gosh, your cat's so adorable, or you had me at over caffeinated millennial, different openers like that. So I've definitely seen a growth of followers, and like the people I want to be connecting with are those followers, which I think is really important. And showing personality, I think like one of my reels recently, I put my boyfriend in, and it's just literally like 2 seconds of him sitting there, but that got so much response because it's just me dancing and being a fool in our backyard, and him like dead-faced, and I know so many girlfriends who are like itching to be out there, and their boyfriends are just putting up with them right now. And that has nothing to do with fitness, that has nothing to do with eating healthy or anything, but I got so many people who are like, yep, I'm in that same position with my significant other. So yeah, I think it's really worth using them to put your personality out there, because you'll get those followers back.
And I think too, that it's just like finding a mix of like value and then funny, or like funny / shareable, like whatever. I spent way too long trying to do one of those dance ones the other day. way too long. But you know what? I wanted to do it because there's a new Shanti program coming out this spring. And so I'm told myself I'm going to get uncomfortable and lean into that because I am horrible at that stuff. And I had to practice it way too much. But I think the thing is, and with this business in general, it's just constantly getting outside your comfort zone. And reels are a fun, easy way to do that. And it's just like being funny or, adding, I need to do like more of that, like add value and things that are like shareable tips. But even to that dance one, I added, it was like what to do or things to remember if you're getting caught up in like people's opinions of you or just something like, so if you're doing something like you're learning one of those TikTok dances for it or doing something like that, you can even add something shareable to that.
Yeah, I think that's honestly one of the things, like, even I really like some of the lip syncing ones and stuff. And even if it's like, find lyrics that go kind of along with what you're saying, but then adding text that serves or hypes people up or gives them tips to do something like, yeah, just don't be afraid to try it and I mean, I've refilmed things like 10 times before and I get to number 10 and I'm like, F it. This is as good as it's going to get. I'm not going to spend any more time. It is what it is. And so I think it's just, don't have a huge high expectation, try to make it as good as you can and then put it out there. I think, taking messy action is so much better than just getting caught up and not doing it.
Well, yeah, I definitely do way more than 10. I'm guilty of that. I'll do like 30. I probably did like 30 or 40 of that stupid dance. I'm not even kidding. And then I realized I was getting worse the more I did. But anyways, it is 5:30 now, so we are going to hop off and get on the Superstar series. But thank you so much, Katie. This was such a great call. So much great tips. There's so many great tips to help you move your Instagram forward and really niche down. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you guys on the Superstar call.